This is how a Chicago personal injury law firm went from spending $12,000 a month to zero in their business just by leveraging YouTube. And in this video, I'm going to show you how they did it and how it could benefit your business if you have a business similar to this one. So I'm going to share my screen and we are going to get straight into it because I think this is a really, really great case study. I think a lot of businesses today are spending tons of money in the wrong areas, and the purpose of these videos is to help you figure that out, okay, and how to do it better. So personal injury law firm based in Chicago, Illinois, and it's the cost of inaction in this case. All right, so they got 90 people in the company. I told you they dropped $12,000 per month on Google ads, and they just went all in on YouTuber explainer content. Now, the reason why they would choose explainer content is because for a business like a law firm, which is very information intense, it's very information heavy, right? Explaining these concepts of the law in a very simple way to prospects is probably a very good idea because people might not necessarily need the lawyer at one particular time, but something might occur in the future where they then need to actually use the services of this law firm, right? So doing these explainer videos is kind of like a soft touch to warm a future audience, if you will. Okay, now the partners were terrified. 12 months later, their revenue is up 31%, and the cost per client acquisition had dropped by 68%. Okay, so those are the stats, right? Dropping cost per client 68%, revenue up year on year 31%, and 74% leads who cited a video before calling. So this is like a new metric that I'm explaining to clients, that this will start to really dictate how well your videos are performing in terms of new revenue and new business, okay? Because if clients, and I'll show you how we have systems at First Party in our software to actually track these things, but if a customer is saying, hey, we actually saw your video before reaching out, that's the metric that you actually want to track, okay? So that's very, very key. So these are the key data points. Before they started to do YouTube, it was $12,000 a month on Google Adspend, okay? Which sounds weird because it's Google and Google owns YouTube, but you just stop paying Google ads and then just did free videos on YouTube. It's kind of a no-brainer when you actually break it down. So 12 months in, that figure went to zero, okay? Monthly inbound inquiries before they started doing YouTube or explainer videos were 22, and 12 months in, 61, right? That's basically 3 times the amount. Really good. Cost per qualified lead, $545. So that's how much it was costing them to actually get a personal injury law firm type of client. That cost went down to $174. Lead to case conversion rate, 31%. Then it went up by 58%. So again, having more videos that are out there explaining how they do things, explaining certain things in the law and how they would approach it, their lead to case conversion rate actually increased, mainly because of the content that it was putting out. And the average case value was $18,400, right? Which then went up to $24,100. So you're seeing growth in different areas of this business. And the breakthrough moment here was the month they turned Google ads off, right? It was the scariest month of their business lives, and it was also a turning point, right? They have not spent a dollar on paid search since then. Now, the trends that I'm seeing, speaking to customers, clients, businesses, I'm seeing that many businesses are now starting to think, hey, this whole YouTube thing is actually just needed. Like they couldn't wrap their heads around the fact why they wasn't doing this earlier. And it's, a common occurrence where people are saying, yeah, I should have done this earlier. And it's like, yeah, you should have done. However, you can start today, right? And them doing, not crazy content, not lifestyle, not suits type content like it's a Netflix show. No, they just did simple explainer videos and just rinse and repeat. And this is a thing that, I have to convince myself a lot of the time as a natural born creator. But you have to just do the simple things and just repeat them. Just repeat them. Don't overthink it. Just say, look, I'm going to just do 2 videos, 3 videos a week on this topic, and I'm just going to keep doing it. and I'm going to keep doing it, and it compounds. And you see 12 months in, not after 30 days, not after a week, not after 2 days, not a month, 2 months, 12 months in, that's when you start to measure the results of YouTube. Because unfortunately, it just doesn't happen quickly. And you could say, yeah, I could just run ads. And that is true. You could run paid ads, but we just saw they was running 12K in Google ads, and it didn't have the same impact that making YouTube videos had on their business. On the key metrics, okay, let's reel that back a bit here. Cost per qualified lead went from $545 to $174. Of course, they're going to still have some cost, the customer acquisition cost, definitely. But just reducing that ad spend and going long on the actual content creation on YouTube just literally pay dividends, because people are going to get more connected with your business and your company if it's coming from an organic place, because anybody can run ads today, but it doesn't necessarily mean like that is the business you should go with. And a lot of times people are running ads to create this omnipresent, type of viewpoint on the marketplace. And yes, of course, it is direct to response. So you can run an ad, send it to a lead funnel, or a funnel of some kind, and people are going to fill out the information and then follow up and get leads that way. But now, my company alone, we're generating leads without running ads. Okay, we know how to do that just by leveraging AI. And I know that's probably like vague. It's like, how, bro? How are you doing that? Well, I would say if you book a demo call and speak to myself, figure out if your business makes sense in terms of us working with you, and we'll show you exactly how, because we have the tools now in our tech stack that can allow businesses to generate leads, a fraction of the cost of paid ads, that is for sure. We tested it, real companies, real problems that need solving, okay? So those are different things. But how they actually dropped 12,000, they probably was thinking, we should not have done that. Why didn't we just do videos? And they're not reinventing the wheel. They're just talking about things that they actually know. That's it. They're just explaining simple concepts and simple ideas that customers are asking, rather than letting the customer go through a long list of FAQs and how do I do this and what about just explain those same things in a video, and it has a much bigger impact on your business, as you can see from these statistics here. So the one thing that I would say is this law firm eliminated $144,000 in annual ad spend. They grew revenue by 31% and cut their cost per client by 68%, all by replacing ads with YouTube content. So it's a no-brainer for you as a business owner, okay, to not leverage the largest streaming platform on the planet, which is YouTube, bigger than Netflix, okay? Now, you can get entertainment, you can get education, you can get all types of content on YouTube. But YouTube actually changes people's lives. It changes people's business completely. And, these type of results, of course, it is case by case, okay? It does depend on the business itself. It depends on a multiple of factors. Have you got the people on board to actually do these explainer videos? My company, we actually will either give you the software and train you on the software, or we'll actually give you the software and train your staff on the software and how to do these things to get these results for your business. Because in an age where social is now interest media, you have to think Google being, largest search engine and YouTube being the largest search engine for content, it would make sense to have your team or have people on your team who get good at doing this, because that's going to drive your costs down. You're already paying them to do certain tasks anyway, but you might specifically hire someone who is only for that. Now, my goal essentially is not to be working in 10,000 businesses, right? That's not scalable, hence why I build software. But the thing is, I'm also aware that many companies like this one here are just not, up to speed. And that's okay. That's totally okay. They're not up to speed on these things. And that's why products like what I've developed with First Party is literally YouTube enterprise software. So it is designed to help you do all of this and navigate and track and manage all of the things that you're doing so you can actually build up some brand value here. And you'll be surprised with the opportunities that start to come, collaborations with other firms. It could be companies who might want to sponsor a video of yours, right? There's no rules to this in the sense of, okay, law firm doesn't only have to just sell law and legal services. They could do brand deals with clothing companies who do corporate attire, right? It doesn't really matter. It could be furniture. There's many crossovers when you start to do YouTube. And one of the key things and paramount things I want you to take away from this video is just start now. Just start in the simplest ways. Think of simple formats. And even if you had a start before you even worked with someone like myself or my company, that's fine, because you're actually then ahead of most because you've actually started. You've tried it, you've tested it, you've got through the yucky period, right? I'm on camera. Like you've gone past that. And that's totally fine. But you've just got to start now, because the longer it takes you to build up a library of content, the longer it's going to take for you to, drive down these costs that you see in here in this particular case study. So if you have a business similar to this, you might be a law firm, legal firm, and you want some help in this YouTube enterprise landscape, then all you have to do is click the link in the description, book a demo call. I'll walk you through the software that I have, and we'll be able to assess if we can help you or not. Sound fair enough? Okay, good. Right. Well, thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you on the next one.